Guess this ain't gonna work. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the undisclosed location, which is definitely not my kitchen. As y'all can tell by the massive stack of pyro in front of me, as well as the title of this video, we're doing a fireworks haul video. Now, before we get too far into things, I want to give a massive shout out to Whirly Fireworks down on the Coeur d'Alene Reservation. They have two locations, take a guess, one in Whirly, Idaho, and a second one down in Tenzin, Idaho, at their convenience store, the Hangman Creek Market. I recommend that you check both of them out because they do have slightly different product at either stand. Both of them have good products at both stands. So if you're passing through the area or you're making a special trip, go check them out. Tell them Hayden sent you. And if you're watching this, guys, thank you for everything you hooked me up with this year. I really appreciate it. If this video goes over 10 minutes, I will be putting timestamps down below. Let's get into things. Like every fireworks haul video, we start things off with the smallest firework and work our way up to the largest. So we're starting it off with the Crusher truck. My inner child saw this, or more specifically my mom, who I was on a day trip with, and I wanted it. I got it for free, so here is the Crusher truck by Dominator. I'll most likely save this for when some of my nieces or nephews come to visit me, but nevertheless, I like monster trucks, so being a kid at heart, I had to get this, and I got it for free too, so what's better than free? If it's for free, it's for me, of course. Next up, we got some bottle rockets, and these are larger than the rockets I typically get. Usually, I just get the really small rockets, the, I think, 140 or 144 per pack, gross packs. I prefer those just because they're a lot cheaper, more bang for your buck sort of thing. But I couldn't find any that I liked this year, at least on the previous two trips. Again, maybe I go on a third trip this year. So I picked these up instead. They are larger, but they were pretty cheap. I want to say they were $3 a pack, so 50 cents a rocket. Not too bad. First up, we have glittering light rockets. And then we have, unfortunately, parachute rockets. And I say unfortunately because I did not mean to get parachute rockets. There were, if I'm not mistaken, 4 varieties of these rockets, the $3 per pack rockets. And there was another type of rocket, I think color pearls or something like that, with a very similar color scheme. It was a similar kind of reddish orange, if memory serves, and they were right next to each other. So I'm assuming someone was going to put back the parachute rocket and accidentally put it back in the color pearl rockets. I go to grab the color pearl rockets. Next thing you know, I have parachute rockets. So I'll probably be saving these for when my nieces and nephews visit as well. But nevertheless, fireworks are fireworks, so I can't complain too much. And 50 cents a rocket isn't too bad either. Next, we're moving things up to these Mars rockets. I got 2 packs, as you can see clearly. I'm not a major fan of rockets, to be honest, and that shows in my previous stash videos. Last year, I did get a 3-inch Wampin Willow rocket, and then a couple years before that, I did get a pack of Devil rockets. But rockets are just more unpredictable than mortar shells, so usually I prefer mortar shells. But I really like these it's kind of an in-between. These aren't as loud, or as large, I should say, as like a ball shell salute is, but they still slap. And I'm kind of getting hooked on the rocket shooting up sound, the whoosh, instead of the thump of the shell going up. I'm not saying it's better, but I'm getting hooked. So I got 2 packs of these, got a good deal on them. And yeah, I would definitely recommend them because they do hit. Less than a ball shell. I would guess that there's probably around 7 to 10 grams inside there. So significant, but if you want like the loudest bang, we'll be talking about that a little bit later. All right. I don't know about y'all, but to me, this is a lot of shells. This is by far the most shells I've had in a single fireworks haul video, bar none. And without any further ado, let's start talking about them. Unleash the Beast by Great Grizzly. These are my favorite ball shells. Legit, real ball shells. And in 2025, good luck finding real ball shells. You're more than likely going to find the miniature canister shells or the fake ball shells surrounding the miniature canister shells. And beyond that, they were cheaper this year than any previous year. I'm not looking that gift horse in the mouth, so I picked up a pack, even though I had already picked up all the rest that's surrounding it. But nevertheless, Unleash the Beast by Great Grizzly, my favorite legit real ball shells. Also legit real ball shells, but not color shells. We got 4 packs of the King. These guys slap. They're pretty cheap for a mortar salute, so I got 4 packs. That's basically all there is to say about that. And then 2 packs of Alpha Fireworks Endgames. These are by far my favorite above board mortar, my favorite 60-gram mortar shell. I'm assuming they're 60 grams. I haven't seen anyone take them apart. Wouldn't surprise me if they're a little bit heavier than that, but they are just banging shells. And I want to show y'all that we're not buying airspace here. These are legit 5-inch shells. You cannot fit any more powder, any more anything into these shells, especially when you have the little plastic bullshit on the top, which on this one doesn't even close because of how much comp is in this one. So these are some heavyweight shells. Highly recommend them. And again, cheaper this year than any previous year, despite the fact that we have all the tariffs and then supply cutoffs across overseas. So again, not looking the gift horse in the mouth, buying 2 packs this year because they are my favorite shell that isn't if you know, you know. Speaking of if you know, you know, HCMF hardcore motherfucker 8-inch King Cobras. You know I had to get them when I saw them. I couldn't leave them sitting there on the shelf. I was dumb enough to only buy 1 pack, but lucky enough to buy the last pack they had when I went back down to the res. So I was absolutely thrilled about that. 18 color shells, 6 salutes, and I want to give you guys a warning. If you are shopping for these or any of the other canister shell kits that come with a sleeve of salutes, double check to make sure the sleeve is in there, because I've seen more than one person complain about, oh, mine didn't come with any salutes. That's because your plug took out all the salutes. The salutes should be in an entire sleeve, and for the King Cobras, they are labeled titanium chrysanthemum. If you don't see that, you don't have salutes, do not buy it, or at least don't pay full price for it. But besides that, I was thrilled to get these, and I did take the tops off a couple. Number 1, we have a color shell. So you can see we have about 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of free space in there, but if we're comparing it to a 6-inch Master 100, you can see that we do have about maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch of free space. So if we're comparing that to, say, the Alpha Fireworks Endgame, obviously this is still a bigger shell, but nevertheless, that is not a lot of airspace. The HCMFs might have been able to be made into 7-inch shells, but for some of them, like this one, it really would have been pushing it, so these are true 8-inchers. That said though, these salutes obviously are not true 8-inchers. That kind of goes without saying. But, let's see. Yeah, again, I'm just using this as a reference point. I don't have a tape measure on me, forgive me. But the stuff, the top plug, is roughly at the same height as the overall height of the Master 100, a 6-inch shell. So these salutes could, in theory, be a 6-inch, but then of course wouldn't fit in the same pack. I know I'm rambling about this, but a lot of people are curious about this sort of stuff, so hopefully y'all are enjoying this. If you are, please leave it a like, comment down below, do all that fun stuff. And yeah, I'm just absolutely thrilled to have found both of these, as well as gotten these at such a good deal, because I'm not going to name prices just in case, but nevertheless, great deal on these. Pretty damn good deal on these too. What I'll say is I paid the same price for these as I paid for the Master 100s, and these have a lot more comp to them. So anyways, moving on, let's get to the cakes. I know, this is equally as ridiculous as all those shells were. So we're just, like always, smallest to largest. Starting it off with these little guys from Miracle. They are from the Zodiac series, Leo and Gemini. These two are my favorites out of the series. Granted, they're the only two that I've tried, but I know I like them. These guys range anywhere from $5 to $7 is how I saw them priced this year, and damn, they are good for the price. It's not like they're the biggest shots you've ever seen, but especially Leo. Leo is like an in-your-face crackle, if that makes sense, and it is really big for these small cakes. Gemini, it's a bit more of a brocade crown, almost willowy, but again, any of them, I'm sure any of those cakes are going to just be phenomenal for the price, but these two are my top recommendations, Leo and Gemini. Miracle, check them out. And we're already getting into the 500 grams. So I got two 500 grams, Nishiki Rush and False Flag. I got both of those down in Tenzin at the Hangman Creek Market. And they're great cakes, both from Pyroland. Reasonable price for a 30 shot and a 24 shot. I haven't taken the top off of this one, but you can kind of see the bore size impression on the top of the paper there. For the Nishiki Rush, they're a little bit smaller bores, but I will say this is a much heavier cake than False Flag. I don't know if it has to do with like the clay plugs or maybe there's a piece of MDF on the bottom holding it together. But either way, this is like a couple pounds heavier. I don't know why, but both great cakes. Again, we're looking at roughly inch bores on this one, a little bit bigger on this, not by much, but still a little bit above that inch bore size. Nishiki Rush is pretty self-explanatory. Let me see if I can find a description on False Flag. Here we go. Bloody red with blue and silver tail whistling. Bloody red with blue and white strobe. Grass green with blue and silver whistling. Grass green with blue and peach. Green strobe with blue and silver tail whistling. Finale green strobe with blue and white brocade crown. I'm sorry that took so long, but that is False Flag. Which one do we talk about next? Push and Powder. Push and Powder, I absolutely love the artwork on this guy. It's a rewrap of multiple cakes. Top G, Valak, I know those are the two that it is rewrapped the most with. But then Push and Powder this is my favorite artwork I've seen on, I want to say fireworks in general, just because it is such a cool, you know, Tony Montana and Scarface and everything. Look at that. You know, I cut this out specifically to hang it up and frame it for my shop because it's just so cool looking. 293 shots. I can't really tip this cake over and show you because of how heavy it is. Most of the bores are an inch. There are about like an inch and an eighth shots here and there, but just absolutely awesome. Big, big cake. And then, speaking of big cakes, Master Big Breaks. Check out the videos on this cake, you guys. It is just, wow. I mean, this is legit. They're legit. Yeah. I know a lot of people will buy no abs and think they're legit, but this is legit. And from what I've heard, through the grapevine, the rumor is that China is no longer allowing big bore cakes over 9 shots. I can't attest to whether that's true or not, but from reputable sources, that's what I've heard. So even though if I'm looking like budget-wise, I would have preferred to buy a few more of the Cobra shell kits instead of this, just kind of being honest here. But because I may not be ever able to get another big bore cake like this ever again, I couldn't pass it up. I had to get it, especially when the effects are kind of willowy brocade crown. Like, it's not a true Nishiki willow fire starter drippy sort of stuff, but it just, Again, check out the videos, man. Incredible cake. I'm not going to shut up if I don't shut up here. So that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this fireworks haul. If you did, leave it a like. Comment down below if you have any comments or questions. Share the video with someone you think also might enjoy it. Subscribe if you have not done so already, because I have a 4th of July video coming out. I'll probably be doing a couple demos. We shall see. And then I also just want to start making videos again in general. Homesteading videos, prepping videos, modern mountain man project videos, all the stuff that I've made in the past. I really have the urge to do that again, so subscribe if any of that interests you. Go through my videos if you have no idea what I'm talking about. And also check out Whirly Fireworks. Again, tell them Hayden sent you, or show them the video. They'll recognize the face. Hopefully they will. Like I said, I gotta shut up, or I'm just never gonna shut up. So with that, you guys, thank you for watching. Think for yourself. Shoot straight. Be safe this 4th, and I will see you next time.